Okay, today we're going to try something a little different. We're not just going to look at history from a distance. We're going to step right inside it. I want you to imagine, for the next few minutes, what it was really like to have one of the most hated, most feared, yet strangely necessary jobs in the entire medieval world. This is your life as a torturer.
Just let that line sink in for a second. It really says it all, doesn't it? This isn't a career you choose. It's not some calling you discover. Nope, it's a condemnation handed to you the moment you're born. A fate so awful that even the devil himself would want to get out of it.
So your story doesn't begin with your first choice or your first step. It begins with a sentence that was passed down long before you ever existed. You were born into what everyone calls a cursed bloodline. And believe me, your path is set in stone.
When you're a kid, you feel it before you can even name it. That chill of being totally alone. The other kids, their parents won't let them play with you. The adults in town, they literally cross the street to avoid you, maybe making a little sign to ward off evil. And then, one day, you sneak out to the village square, and you see him. A man in a dark hood. You hear screams, and you realize that's your father. And in that one horrifying moment, you understand everything. You know your family's secret.
I mean, look at this. This isn't a family tree, it's a chain of misery. This isn't some family business you can be proud of. It's a hereditary stain you can never wash off. You don't apply for this job, you inherit it, just like your dad and his dad before him. And that question mark next to your name? Yeah, that's not really a question, is it? It's just a matter of time.
So any of those little daydreams you had, of being a farmer, working in the sun, or maybe a merchant, seeing the world, or a priest, saving souls, they just evaporate. They die right there. Because society has already put a label on you. You're the torturer's son, and soon you'll just be the torturer. There's no way out.
Your childhood officially ends when you're 8 years old. That's when your apprenticeship begins. And let's be clear, this isn't about learning a skilled trade. This is about being systematically broken down piece by piece so they can build a monster in your place.
Your education is cold and methodical. You start with the most basic, grimy tasks, sharpening the pliers, oiling the gears on the rack so it moves smoothly, and scrubbing blood and filth off the stone floors till your knuckles are raw. The whole point is to make it all seem normal. Before you ever lay a hand on a human being, your father gives you animal bones, piles of them, pig femurs, cow skulls, and your job is to learn how to break them. You have to learn the anatomy of pain, the feel of a bone snapping, the exact amount of force it takes to shatter something without completely destroying it. And the smell of your workshop, that sharp tang of vinegar they used to clean the blood, that becomes the scent of your childhood.
Then comes the day you have to watch. They drag in some poor guy accused of stealing. You see your father apply the thumb screws, and the man screams. They bounce off the stone walls. And eventually, he just breaks. He confesses to anything they want him to, just to make it stop. And that's when you learn the coldest lesson of all. Your job isn't to find the truth. It's to get a confession.
So years pass. That horrified little kid is gone. He's been buried deep down. In his place is a skilled professional. You're not just an apprentice anymore. You're starting to master this terrible dark craft.
You're 12. Your father shoves a pair of pliers into your hands. There's a prisoner waiting. You hesitate. Who wouldn't? And then you hear your father's voice, cold as ice, right in your ear. It's not just a threat from him. It's a threat from the law. If you mess up, if the prisoner dies before confessing, you could both be on the chopping block. So, you do it. You pull the tooth. You learn pretty quickly that the real craft is psychological. Pain is just one tool in your box. The other, much more powerful one, is fear. A person's own imagination can do more damage than any device you have. A lot of the time, all you have to do is show them the rack, and their will just crumbles.
But here's the thing, you're never truly safe. One day, a noble accuses you of being too merciful, of course. So to prove your work is just, sanctioned by God, you have to undergo a trial by ordeal yourself. You have to plunge your own hand into boiling oil. The searing pain is a brutal reminder that you're just as trapped in this system as the people you torment.
All right, so you've done it. You've become a master of your craft. But what does that actually mean for your life outside the dungeon? Well, you now live in this bizarre paradox. You are absolutely essential to the city's law and order, but you are completely and utterly despised for it. This number right here, this basically sums up your entire social life. 0. You have 0 friends. You get 0 dinner invitations. The priest won't even give you a blessing. He makes you stand in the back of the church away from the decent folk. You are unclean.
Your reputation starts to grow. People give you a name, the Bone Breaker. That name itself becomes a tool. It strikes fear into people before you even walk in the room. But here's the catch. Every time you succeed, every confession you get, you just push yourself further and further away from the very community you're supposed to be protecting.
And the personal price you pay? It's huge. Your nights are just filled with nightmares, the faces, the screams. You start drinking a lot, just to try and drown out the sounds in your own head. A normal life, a family, forget it. The only people who will even talk to you are other outcasts, the ones who also live in the shadows.
But time is undefeated. It catches up to everyone, even the infamous bone breaker. As you get older, your body starts to fail you, and you're faced with what will be the single most horrifying task of your entire life.
You hit 40. After decades of gripping cold iron, your hands start to tremble, uncontrollably. And then it happens. You make a mistake. A prisoner dies on the rack before he confesses. The magistrate is furious. Your reputation, the only thing that's ever kept you safe, is now in jeopardy. And you know there's only one way to fix this.
You take your own son down to the workshop, and you repeat the exact same soul-crushing words your father once said to you. You literally watch the light go out in his eyes, the same way it went out in yours all those years ago. In that moment, you've become the monster that created you. You are now perpetuating the very curse you spent your entire life hating.
And so, the cycle continues. Look familiar? This timeline is an exact echo of the one from your own childhood. Nothing has been broken. The suffering just gets passed down again and again. This is your legacy. This is all you leave behind. Your life doesn't end in some grand fashion. You die at 52, which is actually pretty old for your line of work. Your son buries you in a special, unconsecrated corner of the graveyard, far away from everybody else. Even in death, you're an outcast. There's no priest, no prayers, just silence. And that really leaves us with one last, pretty unsettling question, doesn't it? Every society throughout all of history has its dirty work, things that need to be done that nobody wants to do. So you have to ask yourself, who are the people cursed to do it? And what is the real price they end up paying for our so-called justice?